Santa Barbara is primarily an agricultural county, with coastal communities that depend on a robust tourist industry. We also sit within the California Floristic Province, which is one of the world's biodiversity hotspots. We have that distinction due to the combination of high plant species diversity, many of which occur nowhere else in the world, and high levels of threat due to a large human population. Our chaparral and oak woodland ecosystems are among the most threatened in the world, mostly due to habitat loss from agricultural and urban development. Our region is experiencing higher than average warming, increased drought frequency and severity, and increased wildfire frequency and intensity. Recent reports have concluded that we have experienced an enormous loss of biomass and biodiversity among North American birds and temperate zone insects in particular. Native pollinators are in decline, and the vast majority of bees found pollinating both native and crop plants in the Santa Barbara region are non-native European honeybees that may be adversely affecting native bee populations. The precipitous loss of monarch butterfly populations in the West is not just an ecological tragedy, it also affects our local tourism industry. As a coastal marine ecosystem, Santa Barbara is experiencing and contributing to the interacting impacts of runoff pollution, warming ocean temperatures, and increasing ocean acidification, the latter happening at an alarming rate. These impacts affect our major economic sectors of tourism and commercial fishing. Like many coastal urban systems, Santa Barbara's impermeable surfaces prevent infiltration, and the short rainy season creates plumes of coastal pollution that include sediment, bacteria, nutrients, heavy metals, trash, and oil. Much of the pollution comes from what we call non-point sources, difficult to control and eliminate. Finally, despite an often held misconception that Santa Barbara is a wealthy community, we suffer from high levels of food insecurity among families and students. Each of these challenges is daunting. Combined, they can be overwhelming. What if we could contribute less to the problem and become part of the solution in our very own gardens? What if these gardens created spaces that restored critical habitat and supported native pollinators? What if they built and protected healthy soil that stored carbon, decreasing the rate of climate disruption, and trapped runoff, decreasing coastal pollution? What if they grew healthy, local, fresh produce for communities that need it most, served as gathering places to connect and learn about local ecosystems, the growing of food, and the interconnection between them? What if these spaces educated our children and made them citizen scientists, learning about the critical role of native species and collecting data on their populations? What if these gardens were spread among schools, places of worship, residential yards, and community centers, creating a network for multiple generations of people to gather and learn together? What if this network created an archipelago of habitat islands supporting native species on a larger scale? Well, if like us, you are tired of the what ifs, then why don't we just do it? Thanks to an environmental education grant from the EPA, we created the Santa Barbara Ecological and Edible Garden Program. With this program, we hope to create and support a network of gardens that achieve all those what ifs I just described. Let's meet our core team and learn more about what we're doing.
Hi, my name is Daniel Parra-Hensel. I'm an adjunct faculty in the Environmental Horticulture Department here at Santa Barbara City College, and I'm one of the co-leads for the Santa Barbara Ecological Edible Gardens Program. I oversee the permaculture program. We run a couple programs, courses, an introduction to permaculture, an advanced applied permaculture, and developing some courses with non-credit to do hands-on ecological landscape design work. We get to go out into these community gardens and actually design and then implement some of the elements and the features that get us to these desirable outcomes or functions, which are things like biodiversity, pollinator habitat, soil quality and quantity. So soil organic matter increases, we get more retention of water for longer times, we get less pest problems in the plants. Food development, we're growing culturally relevant crops for communities to have nutrient-dense food, for them to have a more sustained diet. These are some of the really great benefits that these kind of ecological and edible gardens that we're designing and implementing, those are some of the objectives that we'll be monitoring and looking at to see if we can reach with this grant program. What excites me the most about this particular project is the relationship between applied ecology and our social justice lens that we're applying to these community gardens. We're getting to work with a lot of communities that historically haven't really had access to a lot of this information, to the sort of environmental and ecological principles that are often taught. And so we're getting to build trust and relationships with communities that have been a part of the Santa Barbara community from the beginning, but aren't always included in these processes. So we're working with the Santa Barbara Botanic Gardens, we're working with Mesa Harmony Gardens, we're working with El Centro Somos Semillas Garden, we're working with the Santa Barbara Lower West Side Boys and Girls Club. And so those are very unique, diverse populations, stakeholders, community members, and all of those have different parts in which they play a role in sort of our movement towards ecological justice, ecological design, sustainability, regenerative design, all these great things that really we're looking to do with the Santa Barbara community here, and our role as a city college, as a community-oriented college, to be relevant to the larger community.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Johnson, Executive Director of Ecology. We are proud partners in the SB Garden Project.
And I'm Marla Greer, a School Garden Coordinator for Ecology.
Ecology's School Garden Program is one of many programs that Ecology operates. We are a nonprofit in Santa Barbara County focused on environmental education, and our School Gardens program consists of about 30 elementary schools and one junior high school garden, where we educate the students about organic gardening, composting, healthy food choices, and a whole bunch of other topics. We're really excited about this partnership because it allows us to have the opportunity to connect our gardens program to the larger school communities as well as the larger Santa Barbara community. So through this project, we are able to engage students at 6 schools in Santa Barbara County in citizen science projects, which are really exciting. So our garden educators are able to work with the students at each of these school sites. Our garden educators that are experts in everything organic gardening and outdoor education get to help develop these programs that will happen within the other community gardens.
So our garden educators are amazing. They put together these lessons that relate back to what students have been learning in their classrooms. So now they have a hands-on application to reinforce what they've already been learning. And to see the students' growth and their retention of this knowledge and their excitement really is the best part. To see them get excited about science, get excited about food, get excited to get dirty and hold a worm and build compost is really amazing. I can remember one time having a class taste pomegranates for the first time. First time some of these kids have ever tasted a fresh pomegranate, seen the seeds pop out. And the next time I saw that class, some of the students asked me, like, what is this called again? How can I find it? Where can I get it? I wanna, you know, have my parents eat this. I wanna show them what it's all about. I really believe that this is an experience that will be a lasting impact on these students.
Hello, I'm Adam Green. I'm a professor of biology and environmental science at Santa Barbara City College, and I'm one of the leads of the Santa Barbara Ecological and Edible Garden Project. Now we know that creating an ecologically based food-producing garden is not a new idea. This is a system that's been around for thousands of years. Quite possibly the very first way that we did agriculture was to farm nature. What we're doing here is kind of recreating and mimicking that type of system. You may have heard of the term food forest. And the idea behind that is we're, in essence, mimicking forest ecosystems, and in the process, also growing food that we can use. These gardens produce a lot of things that are beneficial to us. They produce the food, but they also regenerate habitat. They support biodiversity. They build up healthy soil. And the fact that we can also grow local, fresh, organic produce, something that's also of critical need to surrounding communities, that's just yet one more massive benefit to these types of systems. There's a lot of different organizations and groups that have been doing this, and we wanted to help these groups to really interconnect, to learn from each other, to help support each other, to create a more resilient system that was going to be here in the long term and really benefit this community. We want to invite you to be part of this project. We want you to be able to visit and support your community gardens, to support the School Gardens program, to grow your own garden if that's what you want to do. Visit our website. It's hosted by Ecology. It's going to have loads of resources on that for you to be able to learn about these types of garden systems. You'll be able to see the upcoming events that we're going to host, speakers that are going to speak about everything from local biodiversity to food sovereignty. Help support this network. This is something that truly has a value to it. It's beautiful, it's functional, it helps us get outside, it helps us get our hands in the soil, growing plants, producing our own food. It helps address some of these massive issues like climate disruption and biodiversity loss, pollution, and food insecurity. And we can do it by being outside with our kids in the sun, enjoying life. If we do this right, we make our community more beautiful and more resilient, and we leave something truly valuable to our children and to their children.